He's the best player ever. I mean, he's my favorite player.
Really?
I love watching him. Love talking to him. Just picking his brain. He's a special player, man. I think he gets a lot of, about his walks and working at bats, and some people wanting him to swing at more pitches. But gosh, I mean, he does an unbelievable job of just, that he's going to give you a great at bat every time he gets up there, and he's definitely a guy that I look up to and I can learn from.
Favorite player
right now. Besides people on my team.
Yeah, sure.
High praise right there from the guy who won last year's MVP, who won last year's World Series, who some consider the best young player in the game, saying Joey Votto's the best player. I look up to Joey Votto in Cincinnati, the last place Cincinnati Reds.
He went to Gosh. He went, oh, well, gosh. I mean, you could tell he was really gushing over him. This was a kid, when you look at Kris Bryant coming up, his dad teaching him how to hit, swing angle, getting, swinging up on the ball, driving the ball. Joey Votto was the 2010 MVP. So the funny part about Votto, after he got the contract and he won that MVP 7 years ago, I think a lot of people just kind of wrote him off. Like, okay, now he's done. He's gotten himself in tip-top shape. Yeah. It looks like he's lost several pounds over the last couple. And he looked that way last year, and he started really turning it on with a reclamation season last year. And he's just carried it over. If he was on a winning team, his name would be right in the forefront of the MVP race.
No doubt about
with the Harpers, with the Arenados, with the Goldschmidts. You look at Joey Votto, and all baseball players respect the hell out of his game, like Kris Bryant, because they understand how hard it is to work at bats. They understand how hard it is to lay off a 2-2 pitch right on the corner so that you get your payoff pitch next. That's really tough. That's knowing the game inside out, something that Joey Votto definitely does.
The Reds are in last place.
All right.
Joey Votto's having this sensational year. And you're right, he hasn't even been mentioned among circles to win the MVP, even though his numbers are off the charts. He reached base twice, 20 different games in a row.
On base through the roof, well over 300 power.
See, the biggest waste of talent in all of baseball.
You going Bronx tail on me, huh? No, not even close. It's Mike Trout.
Trout's team, teetering on the playoffs this year, has made the playoffs.
Who is it? We could put together a Pony League team. We'd be in the American League wild card race. I mean, come on. It's not because the Angels are good.
But
it's not because we think the Angels are a real threat. They're not a threat. Who's their pitching staff? They have nobody. They have absolutely nobody. It's just the parity in the American League and the fact that all those teams that are not the Houston Astros are all hovering around the same spot. Cleveland Indians have, let's just call it what it is, the pennant winners who are going to run away with the American League, the Cleveland Indians. They've been underwhelming. The Red Sox have been underwhelming.
So you think Trouty out in Anaheim?
Yes, definitely. Joey Votto's awesome, and I love hearing the reverence of which Kris Bryant speaks of Joey Votto. Joey Votto's doesn't have an opportunity to be the GOAT. Mike Trout very well could be the greatest player of all time. What if the greatness, the wins above replacements were all coming on a team that perennially... What if he was in the Red Sox?
They tried Anaheim. They brought in Josh Hamilton. They paid Albert Pujols.
I mean, that's...
C.J. Wilson.
Yeah.
I mean, I could roll off a lot of contracts. They tried to build that team.
It's trying, but it's not intelligently trying.
You grew up a Yankees fan.
Right.
In our heyday, Don Mattingly.
Yeah.
Think about all the years thrown away in New York. Dale Murphy down in Atlanta. Won back-to-back MVPs. Yes, one year they made the playoffs, swept by the Cardinals.
A lot of people of the generation behind us, they don't even know who Dale Murphy is. Maybe they played Dale Murphy League ball after Little League. I know I did. But they might not even know how great Dale Murphy was or Donnie Baseball. When you look at Don Mattingly's Hall of Fame resume, it's close. I'm not going to say Donnie's. I'm obviously biased. I'd put him in Cooperstown.
But he had a lot of wasted years.
A lot of wasted years on bad teams where he was still one of the best hitters, one of the best first basemen. That debate raged on. Keith Hernandez with the Mets and Donnie Baseball with the Yankees. Two guys that completely would have been... It would have been amazing to see them on the next stage. And across a lot of different sports, I mean, look at a guy like... I was just thinking, I was looking over the years of the prime of LaDainian and Tomlinson. I got to see him playing really any meaningful games. Chargers had a couple years. They were okay, a pretty good team.
Couldn't get over the hump.
Could never get really over the hump. And we talk about some guys in basketball like that, or Marino never getting back to that level when, he gets there, his second year, he goes to the Super Bowl. Oh, he's going to be here every year. Get used to it. Book your tickets, Marino family. You don't go back, and it's not anything to do with Dan. It's nothing to do with Joey Votto, Mike Trout, Don Mattingly, Dale Murphy. But every once in a while, the guys around you, it's just not the right collection. And you sit around going, they're back in the postseason again. I can't get one look at October baseball. For Trout, I think Trout's on another level. But it's interesting to hear one of the young best players in the game look up to Joey Votto, because that's a guy in the in. That's a guy in the know who's doing it at the highest level who says, yeah, but that guy's been doing it even better than me for longer. Pretty cool to hear.
You wonder if Kris Bryant sat on the stoop, talked with those 3 fingers like Sonny did in a Bronx Tale.